A mother bear chained to the tracks with her cubs. What happened next will leave you breathless. The morning mist clung to the slopes of the Appalachian Mountains, draping the ancient forests in a veil of mystery. The air, heavy with the scent of pine needles and damp earth, hummed with the symphony of birdsong and the distant rush of a cascading waterfall. A mother black bear, her thick fur glistening in the dappled sunlight that filtered through the dense canopy, led her two cubs through the undergrowth, their playful antics a testament to the carefree innocence of youth. They tumbled over each other, their playful growls echoing through the trees, their small paws exploring the wonders of their woodland home. The mother bear, her keen senses alert to any signs of danger, guided her cubs with a gentle protectiveness, her love a silent guardian in the heart of the wilderness. She had taught them the ways of the forest, the secrets of survival, the delicate balance between curiosity and caution. They foraged for berries and grubs, their noses twitching with the enticing scents of the forest floor, their playful cries a symphony of joy amidst the tranquility of their natural habitat. They climbed trees with a reckless abandon, their claws finding purchase on the rough bark, their laughter echoing through the canopy. They splashed in the cool, clear streams, their fur glistening with droplets of water, their playful growls a testament to the carefree joy of their existence. They were a family, their bond as strong as the roots that anchored the ancient trees to the earth, their presence a vital thread in the intricate tapestry of life that thrived within the Appalachian wilderness. This particular morning, their journey led them down a seldom-used game trail towards the valley below. The promise of ripe berries and juicy grubs drew them onward, their hunger a driving force, their instincts guiding them through the dense undergrowth. Unbeknownst to them, their path would soon intersect with the cold, hard steel of human indifference, a cruel twist of fate that would test the limits of their resilience and the strength of their bond. The sun climbed higher in the sky, casting long shadows that danced across the forest floor. The mother bear, her belly full from a morning of foraging, led her cubs towards a secluded clearing, its lush greenery a haven of peace and tranquility. Unbeknownst to them, a trap lay hidden amongst the ferns, its metal jaws gleaming ominously in the dappled sunlight, its presence a silent threat to the unsuspecting family. The trap, set by poachers with hearts as cold as the steel they wielded, was a cruel instrument of greed and destruction, its purpose to ensnare and exploit the very creatures that embodied the spirit of the wilderness. The mother bear, her senses alert to any signs of danger, paused at the edge of the clearing, her nostrils twitching, her ears swiveling, her instincts warning her of an unfamiliar presence. But the scent of ripe berries, a tempting lure in the heart of the forest, overpowered her caution, her hunger for sustenance overriding her instincts for survival. She stepped into the clearing, her cubs following close behind, their playful antics momentarily forgotten as they followed their mother's lead. And then, with a sickening crunch of metal and a heart-wrenching cry of pain, the trap sprang shut, its jaws clamping tightly around the mother bear's leg, its sharp teeth digging into her flesh, its unforgiving grip a testament to the poacher's cruelty. The cubs, their playful cries turning into whimpers of fear, huddled around their mother, their small bodies trembling with a terror they couldn't comprehend. The mother bear, her eyes filled with a mix of pain and desperation, struggled against the trap's relentless grip, her powerful body straining against the unyielding steel, her roars echoing through the forest, a desperate plea for help that went unanswered. The poachers, their faces hidden behind masks of indifference, emerged from the shadows, their presence a dark cloud cast upon the clearing. They approached the trapped bear, their laughter a cruel mockery of her suffering, their weapons a chilling reminder of the danger she faced. They bound her legs with heavy chains, their cold metal a stark contrast to the warmth of her fur, their actions a violation of the wild spirit that burned within her. They dragged her towards the railway tracks that snaked through the forest, their destination a place of further torment, their intentions a cruel exploitation of her vulnerability. They chained her to the tracks, her massive body a helpless prisoner, her cries of anguish echoing through the valley, her spirit a defiant flame against the darkness that had enveloped her. They left her there, her cubs huddled beside her, their whimpers a symphony of despair, their fate uncertain in the face of the approaching train and the heartless cruelty of those who had sought to exploit her for their own gain. The sun beat down mercilessly on the clearing, its warmth a cruel mockery of the icy fear that gripped the mother bear's heart. Chained to the railway tracks, her powerful body rendered helpless, she watched in anguish as her cubs whimpered and nudged her, their innocent eyes reflecting the terror that mirrored her own. She strained against the heavy chains, their cold metal biting into her flesh, her roars of frustration and despair echoing through the valley, a desperate plea for help that went unanswered. The sun climbed higher in the sky, its passage marking the relentless march of time, the approaching train a looming threat that cast a long shadow over their fragile existence. She thought of her cubs, their vulnerability amplified by her captivity, their survival dependent on her ability to protect them, to guide them through the dangers of the wilderness. But here she was, chained and helpless, her maternal instincts a raging torrent against the dam of her confinement. She licked her cubs, her rough tongue a desperate attempt to comfort them, her warmth a meager shield against the fear that consumed them. She nuzzled them, her soft growls a lullaby of reassurance, her love a beacon of hope in the face of their uncertain fate. She remembered the freedom of the forest, the joy of exploring the hidden trails, the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of providing for her cubs. She recalled the warmth of the sun on her fur, the coolness of the mountain streams, the scent of wildflowers and damp earth, the symphony of sounds that had been the soundtrack to her life. But now, her world had shrunk to the confines of the railway tracks, her freedom stolen, her spirit caged, her future uncertain. She closed her eyes, her tears mingling with the dust and sweat that matted her fur, her heart aching with the weight of her helplessness and the fear for her cub's fate. She listened to the sounds of the forest, the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, the distant chatter of squirrels, their carefree existence a stark contrast to her own predicament. She longed to be free, to roam the wilderness with her cubs, to teach them the ways of the wild, to protect them from harm. But the reality of her situation was a cruel reminder of her vulnerability, her dependence on the whims of fate, her life hanging precariously in the balance. She opened her eyes, her gaze fixed on the distant bend in the railway tracks, her ears straining for the sound of the approaching train, its rumble a harbinger of her impending doom. And as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the valley, her hope dwindled, her strength fading, her cries for help swallowed by the vast expanse of the wilderness. She was trapped, her fate and the fate of her cubs hanging in the balance, their survival dependent on a miracle, an unexpected intervention from a world beyond their prison of steel and despair. The morning mist clung to the valleys, the rising sun casting long shadows across the rugged terrain of the Appalachian Mountains. The air was crisp and still, the only sound the gentle murmur of the river snaking its way through the dense forest. Tom, a young man with a sturdy build and a kind heart, walked along the railway tracks, his footsteps echoing in the stillness. He was a track inspector, his job a solitary one, his days filled with the rhythmic clang of his hammer against the steel rails, his eyes scanning for any signs of damage or disrepair. He loved his work, the solitude offering a welcome respite from the hustle and bustle of the nearby town, the beauty of the mountains a constant source of inspiration. He had grown up in these hills, his childhood filled with explorations of the hidden trails and swimming in the cool, clear streams. He had a deep respect for the wilderness, its creatures a source of fascination and wonder. He would often pause in his work to observe a deer grazing in a meadow, a hawk soaring overhead, or a family of squirrels chasing each other through the trees. He knew the rhythms of the forest, the changing seasons, the delicate balance of the ecosystem. He felt a connection to the land, a sense of belonging that transcended the boundaries of his human existence. This morning, however, his routine inspection took an unexpected turn. As he rounded a bend in the tracks, His eyes fell upon a sight that filled him with horror and disbelief. A mother bear, her massive form chained to the railway tracks. Her eyes filled with a desperate plea, her cubs huddled beside her, their whimpers echoing through the stillness. Tom, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and compassion, stopped in his tracks, his gaze fixed on the tragic scene. He had heard stories of poachers, their cruel acts a violation of the sanctity of the wilderness, their greed a threat to the delicate balance of nature. But he had never witnessed such a sight firsthand, the reality of their cruelty a stark contrast to the peaceful beauty of the mountains he loved. He felt a surge of anger, a righteous indignation at the injustice inflicted upon these innocent creatures. He knew he had to act, to help, to free the bear and her cubs from their cruel confinement. But the task seemed daunting, the bear's powerful form a formidable obstacle, the chains heavy and unyielding, the approaching train a looming threat that cast a long shadow over their fate. He took a deep breath, his resolve hardening, his compassion overriding his fear. He would not stand idly by and watch these creatures perish. He would risk his own safety, defy the odds, and become their unlikely savior. He approached the bear cautiously, his voice a soft murmur in the stillness, his hands outstretched in a gesture of peace. "Easy, Mama Bear," he said, his voice carrying a gentle reassurance that transcended the boundaries of language. "I'm here to help." The bear, her eyes filled with a mix of fear and hope, watched him warily, her cubs clinging to her side, their whimpers echoing his words. Tom, his heart pounding with a mix of determination and apprehension, knelt beside her, his gaze meeting hers, their eyes locking in a moment of shared understanding, a silent plea for trust in the face of adversity. Tom's heart pounded in his chest as he knelt beside the trapped bear, her powerful form radiating a mix of fear and defiance. He had never been this close to a wild bear before, its sheer size and strength both awe-inspiring and intimidating. But the sight of her chained to the railway tracks, her cubs whimpering beside her, ignited a fierce determination within him. He had to help, to free her from this cruel confinement, to protect her and her cubs from the impending danger. But the task seemed daunting, the chains thick and heavy, the tools he carried for track inspection woefully inadequate for the task at hand. He examined the chains, their cold metal biting into the bear's flesh, a stark contrast to the warmth of her fur. He traced the links, his fingers searching for a weak spot, a point where he could apply his limited tools, a glimmer of hope in the face of their desperate situation. The bear, her eyes filled with a mix of fear and suspicion, watched his every move, her cubs clinging to her side, their whimpers a constant reminder of the urgency of his task. Tom, his voice a soft murmur in the stillness, tried to reassure her, his words carrying a gentle compassion that transcended the boundaries of language. "It's okay, Mama Bear," he said, his voice barely a whisper against the backdrop of the mountain wilderness. "I'm going to get you out of this. Just stay calm." But his words offered little comfort to his own racing heart. He knew the dangers of working with a wild animal, especially one in distress. He had heard stories of bears lashing out in fear, their powerful claws and teeth capable of inflicting serious injury. But he couldn't let fear paralyze him. He had to act, to trust his instincts, to rely on the compassion he felt for the trapped creature and her cubs. He reached into his toolbox, his fingers fumbling for the heavy wrench, its weight a reassuring presence in his hand. He positioned the wrench against the chain's thickest link, his muscles straining with the effort, the metal groaning under the pressure. The bear, sensing his intentions, shifted slightly, her eyes fixed on his every move, her cubs whimpering softly, their small bodies trembling with a mix of fear and hope. The wrench slipped, its metal teeth scraping against the chain, the sound echoing through the quiet clearing. The bear flinched, her muscles tensing, her eyes widening with a renewed fear. Tom, his heart pounding, his frustration mounting, adjusted his grip, his determination unwavering. He tried again, the wrench biting into the metal, the chain groaning under the renewed pressure. He strained with all his might, his muscles burning, his breath coming in ragged gasps. And then, with a satisfying snap, the link gave way, the chain falling loose, the bear's leg freed from its cruel confinement. A wave of relief washed over Tom, his body trembling with the exertion, his heart soaring with the triumph of his efforts. He looked at the bear, her eyes now filled with a mix of gratitude and disbelief, her cubs nuzzling against her, their whimpers now replaced by soft, playful growls. He knew his task was far from over. The bear was still chained to the tracks, the approaching train a looming threat that cast a long shadow over their newfound freedom. He had to free her completely, to guide her and her cubs to safety, to ensure their survival in the face of the danger that still lurked. But for now, he allowed himself a moment of triumph, a shared glance with the creature he had helped liberate, a connection forged in the crucible of compassion and courage, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to defy the odds and offer hope in the face of adversity. The freed leg, though still bearing the marks of the cruel trap, offered the mother bear a renewed sense of mobility, a glimmer of hope in the face of their desperate situation. She tested her injured limb, her movements cautious but purposeful, her eyes fixed on the remaining chains that bound her to the railway tracks. Tom, his adrenaline fading, his body aching with the exertion of breaking the first chain, knew he had no time to waste. The approaching train, its distant rumble now a growing vibration in the earth, was a constant reminder of the impending danger, the urgency of his task. He reached for another wrench, its weight a familiar comfort in his hand, its purpose now a tool of liberation rather than maintenance. He positioned it against the next link in the chain, his muscles straining with the effort, the metal groaning under the pressure. The bear, her instincts still wary, watched his every move, her cubs now exploring their newfound freedom with cautious steps, their playful growls a counterpoint to the tension that hung heavy in the air. Tom, his brow furrowed with concentration, his breath coming in ragged gasps, fought against the unyielding metal, his determination fueled by the bear's desperate plight and the ticking clock of the approaching train. The wrench slipped, its metal teeth scraping against the chain, the sound sending a shiver of fear through the cubs, their whimpers echoing through the clearing. Tom, his frustration mounting, adjusted his grip, his resolve hardening. He wouldn't give up, not now, not when their lives depended on his success. He strained with all his might, his muscles burning, his veins throbbing, his every ounce of strength focused on breaking the chain, freeing the bear from her impending doom. And then, with a satisfying snap, the link gave way, the chain falling loose, the bear's other leg liberated from its cruel confinement. A wave of relief washed over Tom, his body trembling with exhaustion, his heart soaring with the triumph of his efforts. But his task was far from over. The bear, though freed from the chains, was still tethered to the railway tracks, the approaching train a looming threat that cast a long shadow over their newfound freedom. He had to unfasten the final chain, the one that bound her to the unforgiving steel, the one that stood between them and escape. He scrambled towards the final chain, his movements fueled by a desperate urgency, his eyes fixed on the distant bend in the tracks, his ears straining for the telltale rumble that would signal the train's arrival. The bear, her eyes filled with a mix of gratitude and apprehension, watched his every move, her cubs now clinging to her side, their whimpers a plea for his success, their trust in him unwavering. Tom, his fingers fumbling with the rusty lock, his heart pounding with the knowledge that time was running out, fought against the stubborn mechanism, his every action a desperate race against the approaching train. And as the rumble grew louder, closer, the ground vibrating beneath their feet, the air filled with the ominous sound of the train's whistle echoing through the valley, he finally managed to pry the lock open, the chain falling away, the bear and her cubs now free from their cruel confinement. He looked at the bear, her eyes filled with a mix of gratitude and a wild urgency, her body tensing, her instincts urging her to flee, to seek safety for herself and her cubs. He gestured towards the dense undergrowth, his voice a hoarse whisper against the roar of the approaching train. "Go!" he shouted, his words a desperate plea for their survival. "Get out of here!" The bear, her maternal instincts overriding her fear, herded her cubs towards the safety of the forest, their forms disappearing into the undergrowth, their escape a testament to Tom's courage and their own resilience in the face of danger. Tom, his body trembling with exhaustion, his heart pounding with the adrenaline of their near-death experience, watched as the train thundered past, its powerful engine a symphony of steel and steam, its presence a reminder of the fate they had narrowly escaped. He collapsed onto the ground, his breath coming in ragged gasps, his gaze fixed on the empty tracks, his mind replaying the events of the past few hours, his heart filled with a mix of relief and a newfound respect for the creatures he had saved, their shared struggle a testament to the enduring power of compassion and the resilience of life in the face of adversity. The silence that followed the train's departure was deafening, a stark contrast to the cacophony of the rescue. Tom, his body weary, his emotions a whirlwind of relief and exhaustion, lay on the ground, his gaze fixed on the empty tracks, the image of the fleeing bear and her cubs etched in his mind. He had faced danger, defied the odds, and emerged victorious, his actions a testament to the courage and compassion that resided within him. But the experience had also left its mark, the adrenaline fading, replaced by a trembling awareness of his own mortality. The fragility of life laid bare in the face of the near-death encounter. He slowly rose to his feet, his legs shaky, his hands still trembling from the exertion of breaking the chains. He surveyed the clearing, the remnants of the poacher's cruelty a stark reminder of the darkness that lurked within the human heart. He gathered the broken chains and the discarded trap, their cold metal a testament to the indifference and greed that had threatened the lives of these innocent creatures. He carried them back to his truck, his footsteps heavy, his heart filled with a mix of anger and sadness. He drove back to the ranger station, his mind replaying the events of the day, his spirit burdened by the knowledge of the cruelty that existed in the world. He reported the incident to his superiors, his voice filled with emotion as he recounted the rescue, his words painting a vivid picture of the bear's plight and his own desperate actions. His colleagues, their faces etched with a mix of shock and admiration, listened intently, their silence a testament to the gravity of his tale. They commended his bravery, his quick thinking, his dedication to protecting the wildlife that graced their beloved mountains. They assured him that they would investigate the incident, track down the poachers, and bring them to justice. They spoke of the importance of conservation, the need to protect the delicate balance of nature, the responsibility they all shared to safeguard the creatures that called these mountains home. Tom, his heart heavy but his spirit lifted by their support, returned to his duties, his routine now imbued with a newfound sense of purpose. He patrolled the tracks with a heightened awareness, his eyes scanning the landscape for any signs of further cruelty, his heart filled with a protective instinct for the creatures that roamed the wilderness. He often found himself thinking of the bear and her cubs, their fate uncertain but their resilience a beacon of hope in his mind. He imagined them finding a safe haven, their wounds healing, their bond strengthened by their shared ordeal. He hoped they would thrive, that they would continue to roam the mountains with the same wild spirit that had captured his heart, their presence a testament to the enduring power of nature and the triumph of compassion over cruelty. Deep in the heart of the Appalachian wilderness, the mother bear, now free from the cruel chains that had bound her, limped through the undergrowth, her two cubs trailing closely behind. Her injured leg throbbed with a dull ache, a constant reminder of the ordeal she had endured, but her spirit was unbroken, her maternal instincts driving her to find a safe haven for her cubs. She led them through the dense forest, her senses heightened, her every movement cautious, her eyes scanning the surroundings for any signs of danger. The memory of the train's deafening roar, the vibrations that had shaken the ground beneath her paws, still lingered in her mind. a chilling reminder of the fate she had narrowly escaped. She sought refuge in a secluded cave, its rocky walls offering a semblance of protection from the elements and the prying eyes of predators. She curled up beside her cubs, their warmth a comfort against the lingering fear, their soft whimpers a symphony of vulnerability and resilience. She licked their fur, her rough tongue a soothing balm to their trembling bodies, her maternal love a beacon of hope in the face of their shared trauma. She watched over them as they slept, their tiny bodies curled together for warmth, their soft snores a lullaby in the quiet confines of their hidden sanctuary. The days that followed were a slow and painful recovery. The mother bear's injured leg, though no longer bound by chains, hampered her movements, making hunting and foraging a challenge. She relied on her instincts, her knowledge of the forest, and the occasional scraps of food left behind by other creatures to sustain herself and her cubs. The cubs, their playful energy now tempered by the trauma they had endured, stayed close to their mother, their eyes constantly searching for reassurance, their whimpers a constant plea for her protection. They explored their surroundings with a cautious curiosity, their small paws treading softly on the forest floor, their senses alert to any signs of danger. The mother bear, her heart aching for their vulnerability, watched over them with a fierce protectiveness, her every instinct focused on ensuring their survival. She taught them the ways of the forest, the secrets of finding food and shelter, the importance of staying hidden from the human world that had brought them so much pain. And as the days turned into weeks, their wounds slowly healed, their strength gradually returned, their bond deepened by their shared ordeal. The mother bear, her spirit unbroken, her love for her cubs unwavering, led them deeper into the wilderness, their journey a testament to the resilience of nature and the enduring power of a mother's love. News of the bear rescue spread through the small West Virginia town like wildfire, carried on the whispers of awe and indignation. Tom, the unassuming railway worker, was hailed as a hero, his bravery and compassion celebrated by the community he had always quietly served. The local newspaper ran a front-page story about the incident, complete with a grainy photo of Tom standing beside the rescued mother bear, her cubs nestled safely at her feet. The story detailed the poacher's cruelty, the bear's desperate plight, and Tom's daring rescue, his actions a beacon of hope amidst the darkness of human indifference. The community rallied around the bears, their collective outrage at the poacher's actions fueling a desire to offer support and protection to the vulnerable creatures. Donations poured in to the local wildlife rehabilitation center, earmarked for the care of the rescued bears and the prevention of future poaching incidents. Volunteers flocked to the center, their hands eager to help with the bears' rehabilitation, their hearts filled with a shared sense of responsibility for the animals that had been so cruelly wronged. A local school teacher, inspired by Tom's heroism and the bear's resilience, organized a fundraising drive, her students crafting handmade cards and drawings depicting the rescued family, their colorful creations a testament to the empathy and compassion that bloomed within the hearts of the young. The town council, spurred by the community's outcry, held a special meeting, their discussions focused on strengthening anti-poaching laws and increasing patrols in the surrounding wilderness. They recognized the need to protect the delicate balance of nature, the responsibility they shared to safeguard the creatures that called these mountains home. Tom, overwhelmed by the outpouring of support, found himself thrust into the spotlight, his quiet demeanor a stark contrast to the accolades and gratitude showered upon him. He attended town meetings, his voice usually soft-spoken, now carrying a newfound strength as he advocated for the protection of wildlife and the preservation of their natural habitat. He visited the rehabilitation center, his presence a source of comfort to the rescued bears, their wary eyes softening at his approach, their gentle grunts a recognition of the bond they had forged in the face of danger. He watched as they healed, their wounds slowly mending, their spirits regaining their wild spark, their playful interactions a testament to the resilience of nature and the enduring power of family. He shared his story with the children who visited the center, his words painting a vivid picture of the rescue, his voice carrying a message of compassion and respect for all living creatures. He saw the wonder in their eyes, the spark of empathy that ignited within their young hearts. His own spirit lifted by the knowledge that his actions had inspired a generation to care for the creatures that shared their world. And as the weeks turned into months, the story of the rescued bears and the heroic railway worker became a local legend, a tale whispered around campfires, a reminder of the darkness that lurked within the human heart and the light that could shine through in the face of adversity. It was a story of courage, compassion, and the enduring power of the human-animal bond, a testament to the resilience of both humans and animals in the face of cruelty and danger. The community's compassion for the rescued bears extended beyond words of support and donations, a collective desire to provide a safe haven for these animals, a place where they could heal and thrive, free from the threat of human cruelty, took root and blossomed into a remarkable initiative. Led by a group of dedicated volunteers and spearheaded by Dr. Emily Carter, the local veterinarian who had treated the mother bear's injuries, the community embarked on a project to establish a bear sanctuary within the vast expanse of the Appalachian Mountains. They secured a large tract of land, its diverse terrain encompassing forests, meadows, and streams, a perfect habitat for the bears to roam and rediscover their wild instincts. They built spacious enclosures, designed to provide both safety and stimulation, their construction a labor of love, their purpose a testament to the community's commitment to protecting these vulnerable creatures. They enlisted the help of wildlife experts, their knowledge guiding the design and management of the sanctuary, their expertise ensuring the bears' well-being and their successful reintegration into the wild. And then, on a bright spring morning, the rescued bears were transported to their new home, their arrival a celebration of resilience and the triumph of compassion over cruelty. The mother bear, her leg fully healed, her spirit unbroken, stepped cautiously into the spacious enclosure, her cubs tumbling excitedly at her heels, their playful growls echoing through the trees. They explored their new surroundings with a mix of curiosity and caution, their senses awakened by the scents and sounds of the forest, their instincts guiding them towards a life of freedom and renewed purpose. They climbed trees, their claws finding purchase on the rough bark, their laughter echoing through the canopy. They splashed in the cool, clear streams, their fur glistening with droplets of water, their playful antics a testament to their renewed vitality. They foraged for berries and grubs, their noses twitching with the familiar scents of the forest floor, their hunger now a natural instinct rather than a desperate need. The sanctuary became a haven for other rescued bears, their stories echoing the trauma of poaching, habitat loss, and human encroachment. They found refuge within its protected boundaries, their wounds healing, their spirits rekindled, their presence a testament to the enduring power of compassion and the community's commitment to protecting the delicate balance of nature. The sanctuary also became a place of education and awareness, its gates open to visitors eager to learn about the bears and the importance of conservation. School children, their eyes wide with wonder, listened to the stories of the rescued bears, their hearts filled with empathy and a newfound respect for the creatures that shared their world. Families, their hands clasped together, strolled through the sanctuary grounds, their voices hushed in reverence for the wild beauty that surrounded them, their presence a testament to the growing awareness of the need to protect and preserve the natural world. And as the years passed, the bear sanctuary became a symbol of hope, a testament to the resilience of both humans and animals, a reminder that even in the face of cruelty and adversity, compassion and love could prevail, creating a legacy that would endure for generations to come. Tom, the unassuming railway worker whose act of courage had sparked the creation of the bear sanctuary, became a regular visitor, his presence a source of comfort and reassurance for the rescued bears. He would often spend his days off wandering the sanctuary grounds, his footsteps tracing familiar paths through the forests and meadows, his eyes scanning the landscape for glimpses of the bears he had saved. He would watch them from a distance, his heart swelling with pride as he observed their playful interactions. Their healthy forms a testament to the sanctuary's care and the community's dedication. He would marvel at their resilience, their ability to heal from the trauma they had endured, their spirits unbroken by the cruelty they had faced. He would sometimes leave small gifts for them, his gestures a silent expression of his gratitude and his enduring connection to the creatures he had helped save. The bears, their instincts initially wary of human presence, gradually came to recognize Tom as a friend, their fear replaced by a cautious curiosity, their movements softening as he approached, their gentle grunts a greeting of acceptance. They would often emerge from their dens when they sensed his presence, their eyes following his movements, their bodies relaxing in his familiar aura of calm and compassion. They would allow him to approach, their trust a testament to the bond they had forged in the face of danger, their acceptance a recognition of the kindness he had shown them. Tom, his heart filled with a quiet joy, would sit with them, his presence a silent companion, his voice a soft murmur in the stillness of the forest. He would tell them stories of his life, his work on the railway, his love for the mountains, his memories of the day he had found them chained to the tracks, his voice trembling with emotion as he recounted the desperate rescue that had changed their lives forever. The bears, their large heads tilted, their ears twitching, their eyes reflecting the dappled sunlight, seemed to listen, their presence a silent audience, their occasional soft grunts and playful nudges a testament to their understanding. And in those moments of shared silence, a profound connection blossomed between them, a bond that transcended the boundaries of species, a testament to the enduring power of compassion and the healing balm of friendship. Tom, his heart healed by their presence, his spirit renewed by their resilience, found solace in their company, his loneliness replaced by a sense of belonging, his life enriched by the unexpected gift of their connection. He would leave the sanctuary with a renewed sense of purpose, his footsteps lighter, his heart filled with gratitude for the opportunity to have played a part in their journey, his life forever intertwined with the fate of the bears he had rescued from the brink of despair. Time, the relentless sculptor, continued its gentle caress, shaping the landscape of the Appalachian Mountains and the lives of its inhabitants. The seasons turned, painting the hillsides in a vibrant tapestry of colors. The wildlife thrived in its natural habitat, and the echoes of the train's whistle reverberated through the valleys, a reminder of the delicate balance between human progress and the preservation of the wild. The bear sanctuary flourished, its boundaries expanding to encompass a vast expanse of wilderness, its enclosures now home to a thriving population of rescued bears, their presence a testament to the community's dedication to protecting these magnificent creatures. The mother bear, her scars a reminder of her ordeal, roamed the sanctuary with a quiet dignity, her cubs, now grown into strong and independent adults, by her side. They had become a symbol of resilience, their survival a testament to the enduring power of maternal love and the compassion of those who had intervened to save them. Tom, his hair now streaked with silver, his footsteps a bit slower, continued his work on the railway, his presence a reassuring constant in the rhythmic flow of trains that traversed the mountains. He had become a legend in the small town, his name synonymous with courage and kindness, his story a reminder of the impact a single individual could have on the lives of others. He would often visit the sanctuary, his presence a welcome sight for the bears, their gentle grunts and playful nudges a testament to the bond they shared. He would watch them from afar, his heart filled with a quiet pride, his eyes reflecting the deep connection he felt to these creatures he had helped save. He would tell their story to the visitors who flocked to the sanctuary, his voice carrying the weight of his experience, his words painting a vivid picture of the rescue, the fear, the hope, and the triumph of compassion over cruelty. And as he spoke, he would see the spark of understanding ignite in their eyes, the same empathy and respect for the natural world that had guided his own actions. He would know then that his legacy extended beyond the act of saving a bear and her cubs. He had become a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the face of darkness, the human spirit could rise to the occasion, fueled by compassion and a deep connection to the creatures that shared their world. The story of the mother bear chained to the tracks, a tale of cruelty and resilience, of despair and hope, became a part of the Appalachian folklore. Its echoes carried on the whispers of the wind, its lessons etched in the hearts of those who heard it. It was a story that spoke of the delicate balance between humans and nature, the responsibility to protect the vulnerable, the power of compassion to overcome adversity. It was a story that celebrated the enduring spirit of the wild, the unwavering bond between a mother and her cubs, and the courage of a young man who had dared to defy the odds and become their unlikely savior. And as the years turned into decades, the legacy of the rescued bears and the railway worker who had saved them lived on, their story a testament to the enduring power of compassion, the resilience of the human and animal spirit, and the hope that could blossom even in the darkest of times.